Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to 2025 and another edition of Tech20 Tuesday. We've been doing this series for a number of years now, and we always appreciate you taking the time to join us, whether it's in real time online, as it is right now, or on our YouTube channel. So we've got them all archived back there as well. So for the next, I guess, couple of months, we really want to have a focus on AI again. We keep coming back to this theme of AI, and rightly so. AI has started and is transforming our world, and we're just starting to see the surface, or scratch the surface of how it's going to change our lives, the way we work, play, and live in this world. And it's got a lot of challenges and opportunities that go along with it. So today, though, we wanted to start to have a quick look at AI specifically for ASD-W educators. So there's been a few developments, a few things that have been taking place behind the scenes, and we wanted to bring you up to speed on that, and also to give you, I guess, a little guidance and a few hints on some of the tools that you can be looking for. So, of course, the biggest thing about generative AI is, as far as teaching, as teachers go, as educators go right now, it's that whole idea of having a personal assistant. So your AI, you can ask it to do a lot of just amazing work for you. It'll do a lot of that development work. It will do lesson planning. It will do really anything, and even outside of work, in your personal life, it will do all kinds of fun stuff. I love to travel, and AI does a lot of planning for me, and it gives me lots of ideas. There's also a lot of development going on in the idea of assessment, and also in instruction, sort of like as a personal tutor. And we'll take a little scratch of the surface of that over the next couple of weeks. Not a lot, but we're going to focus primarily on the idea of AI as a personal assistant, somebody that, or something that can step up to the plate and take a lot of the task off your plate and give you a whole bunch of time back in your day. Not going to get into it too deep, but we really still have to be aware of all the challenges that exist within AI. The AI is still subject to a lot of bias. You have to remember how AI is generating responses, and so this idea of generative AI, or ChatGPT. So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. The generative just means it's creating content, it's creating data. Pre-trained meaning it's learning almost like a human would, by being exposed to all kinds of different data. And most of that data, if not all of it, is web-based. So we have to think about, in terms of bias, where is most of that data coming from? And primarily it's being created and posted and shared by sort of dominant society. So we really have to think about, how it does ChatGPT, and how is the content we're getting responses back from reflecting those who don't have such a strong voice. Still subject to a lot of error, although that with new versions of ChatGPT, I think will become less and less. And we do have some concerns, excuse me, around privacy as well. So we've got a lot of student data, and a lot of, much like posting stuff on the web, we have to be cognizant of the fact that we are dealing and need to be protecting our students. So a few just real easy basic guidance things. If you're using ChatGPT, and we're going to have a look at a few tools that have been approved, but if you're using ChatGPT, or pardon me, an AI tool, and it's one of our approved tools, and we're going to have a quick look at those in a second. We're going to ask that you only use those approved tools if you're going to be doing work for us, as part of your job role. Now, obviously, we can't limit that, but we're just thinking about the security piece. And so if you're going to be identifying things, and anytime you're using a non-approved tool, there's always things that can happen. So also, when you're creating an account for any of those tools, we're going to ask, oh, excuse me, that you not use a non-NBED email, a personal email, a Gmail, a Outlook email, a Hotmail, if you still have one of those. But if you're creating a free account, and a lot of these platforms have free accounts, we're going to ask that you not use your NBED email. And there's a reason for that. It's all about security. We want to make sure that your NBED email has the least amount of exposure to platforms. So if they are hacked, there's not going to be that data sitting out there that people might be able to get their hands on. And just remember that we don't want to put any identifiers in any of our prompts or any of our uploads. So if we're interacting with ChatGPT or any of these AI tools, we want it to be as anonymous as possible, if you get my drift, if you sort of understand what I mean. Also, we really want to not, and I use the word avoid uploading student work. I would say never upload student work. The privacy issues around student work and uploading it. And I know, everybody's thinking, well, how am I going to know? I got to, upload the student work into these AI detectors. As far as, first of all, they're not very accurate and they're riddled with issues, but also they also come with lots of privacy and security issues. So we're going to really, you shouldn't be uploading any student work, even under the guise of trying to identify it as whether or not it's been created and generated by AI. So really quick, if you're going to be getting into student use, and you're probably not right away, I just starting to see a few instances where maybe students are teachers are starting to interact with AI with students, but it's really, but it's going to move quick. So just ensure that the tools are age appropriate. If the platform has age restrictions, follow that. And if you are working with students under the age of 13 years of age, we should obtain parental consent. And we should be working to educate our students on the ethical and responsible uses of AI. There's lots of obviously bad stuff that could happen. We're seeing issues around the world where students are bullying and harassing and other students through the use of AI. So just wanted to touch real quick. So we have the working with ASD East and other districts. We now have approved at the ASD-W level 7 tools that we would encourage and support teachers to use. And we're going to have a quick look at these over the next 3 weeks. So Codebreaker, Padlet, CuraPod, Diffit. You're probably saying, I don't know any of those. Well, we'll have a look at them in a couple of weeks' time. Magic School AI and School AI are 2 of the big sort of very, they've been developed specifically with school and educators in mind, and Microsoft Copilot. So that's those are the big ones. And of course, you're saying, where's ChatGPT? And it's not explicitly been added to this list, but we also recognize that a lot of teachers are using ChatGPT, and some of you even have moved on to professional accounts with ChatGPT. And so we would encourage you to do it. Reminder again, that if you're going to use any of these, they do require an account. And we're going to ask you and encourage you strongly to not use your NBED email when creating these accounts, that you use a public email like a Gmail or a Hotmail or one of those other ones. So let's have a quick look. So we're going to take today and we're going to quickly look at Microsoft Copilot to start out. So if you're looking for Copilot, if you notice now that when I go to office.com, this is there are a number of ways to access Copilot tools, but the easiest way to actually get there is if we go into office.com, go into the home, there's the waffle with all of our tools, emails in there. A lot of teachers actually use this as their primary email portal. down here along the side, you see now that we've got Copilot. So when we open up Copilot, it's going to give us a prompt space down here where we can ask and interact with Copilot. It will give you a few suggestions as to things that you might, types of things that you can do. But right here, we can pop back in here and we can really ask Copilot anything. I want to just pop back over here to this AI in education. And where did it go? I want to talk quickly about prompt engineering as before we start to go. So there's a number of different prompt engineering sort of structures that you can use. This is the one I find the easiest, and that's the role, task, format, and tone. So basically, when you ask a question, you're going to define the AI's role. So you're going to act as a history teacher. Clearly state what it is, explain the causes of World War II, put it in bullet points, and indicate the appropriate tone. So that's sort of that role task model of prompts. So I'm going to say, I am a grade 5 teacher. As my assistant, so there's the role. Generate 3 hands-on lesson activities for students to learn about the biomes of the world. And I'm not sure what this is going to give me. I'm not a grade 5 teacher, but so if we just come here, and now it's going to, so I'm going to come in here and it's going to start to generate some 3 activities. So there are the activities. And now what I can do is I can have a quick look at them. So there's the first one, the survival challenge, the diorama project, exploration stations, and the survival challenge. I can then continue on and continue to have a conversation and tweak out and tease out some other things. I can say, tell me more about the survival challenge. And now it's going to start to dive deep into that survival challenge. So you can see here that it's going to start to come in. Now, the neat thing about ChatGPT and Copilot, they're fairly similar, is that it archives all your recent chats over here. So you can go back and actually come in here. So I can come in here. I can also upload a document. So I can say, here is a lesson plan or a worksheet and please translate it to another language. It will do that. It does do a lot of translations. The one thing that both ChatGPT and Copilot do well is that it does work in multiple languages. So if your working language is French, it will actually work in French or in a number of other languages as well. So really the difference between ChatGPT and Copilot, they're becoming much more similar. I'm finding Copilot is becoming very much along the way. So let's have a quick look at ChatGPT. You'll see that it's very similar as well. I can come in here and I can come into coding projects that I just did. So it will build all these things. You notice that I can also upload attach a file. So I can say again, take this document, translate it to French, or I could say take this document and cut the words in half and make it for a grade 3 reading level. So you can do a lot of differentiation through here as well. So there's all kinds of really cool platforms in here that you can work with. I'm going to just show you one more quick thing because we're running up on the end of the time. Here where it says Explore GPT, you'll see that it now has other GPTs built inside of this. And this is sort of really cool. So it's got design, it will do DALL-E generated images. It will write programming in Python. It will do diagrams. It will also coloring book hero, so you can take an idea and turn it into a coloring book for you and your students. It's got Canva, which we've looked at over the last little bit. And where am I looking at? I am looking for, TutorMe. So I mentioned earlier about Tutor. So this is really going to be the sort of the next step. We're using it as a personal assistant, but it can also do a lot of tutoring. So Khan Academy has come out with Conmigo, which is going to be basically, if you're familiar with Khan Academy, they've got a lot of videos and teach-based, you can learn anything. So this is going to be more of a tutor for a student. So if a student wants to know more about ancient Greece, they can come in here and basically the AI acts as a tutor. They interact, they ask questions, they challenge each other, they can have debates, they can go in and interview an ancient Egyptian who maybe lived there at the time, and they could choose a number of different ancient Egyptians. There could be a slave, there could be a ruler, and so they could have those conversations, and the AI will actually respond and act like that tutor. So it's kind of cool, and I would encourage you to go and just have a good and just browse around. And again, your students have access to this. Be careful with some of the younger ones, but certainly at the high school level, this would be something that I would think that you could actually dip your toe in with some of the high school teachers or high school students and sort of encourage them to go there. So we have reached the end of our time for today. I'm going to come back out here. Oh, there we go. And we're going to come in here to Copilot. And where did we go? There we go. AI and education. So just going to come back and open this back up. There we go. So that is the end of our time for today. Hopefully you sort of got a couple of ideas out of there. So Copilot and ChatGPT are sort of the two general GPT kind of Gen AI tools where you can go in and basically ask them anything. Next week, we're going to look at School AI and Magic School, and those two are very specific development for education purposes. And so I think there's some really cool stuff in there for teachers. In the meantime, if you're looking to talk to one of our digital learning leads about AI and how you might use it in your classroom, you could reach out to any one of these 6 people, Lindsay, Joel, Wayland, Yvette, Wendy, or myself, and we'd be very happy to have a chat with you and to see how AI can be used inside of your classroom. And mostly at this point, by you as a teacher, and save yourself goodles of time in the day. That is it for today, and thank you very much for joining us on Tech20 Tuesday, and we will see you all again in 2 weeks' time. Have a good day.